Hello there. Today I'm going to talk about my piercings. A couple weeks ago I made a Q&A video and had a few questions about them, so I thought I would just make a separate video altogether, just talking about the piercings I have, the different pain levels I experienced, and the pros and cons of each of them. So to start off with the obvious ones, I have 2 nostril piercings, and I also used to have my Philtrum pierced, which is this spot dead center in the top lip. If you're really trying to notice, you can see the scar right there. But I also find that my top lip naturally folds, so it's not always super obvious. On my left ear, I have 3 lobe piercings and 2 helix piercings. And then on my right, I have 3 more lobe piercings and an industrial piercing. As for the pain levels, I'm going to rank them from least painful to most. So actually on the lower end would be my Philtrum piercing. Because it was in my mouth area, I expected it to hurt a lot more, but it was about a 2 out of 10. After that, I would say the second least painful ones were my lobe piercings. Now, 2 out of 3 of them were done at Claire's, which isn't good. I feel like so many late 90s to early 2000s kids have preached on not doing that. I am within that demographic. I feel like although getting it pierced that way wasn't painful, the healing process was pretty absurd. I had a lot of complications with them. However, my 3rd lobe piercings were done by my sister. Basically, she was trying out piercing for the first time and she said, "Do you want your ears pierced? Just give me $20." And I said, "Okay." And that's how that happened. Overall, it's a very meaty part of your skin. I would say all of my lobe piercings are about a 3 out of 10 for pain. After that would be my helix piercings. Now, originally, I was only going to get 1 done, so the bottom one was done first. It hurt, but it honestly wasn't that bad. I would say about a 4 or 5 out of 10. But then after I got it done, I had a couple friends that decided they wanted piercings that day, so I actually went back to the piercing shop and got the second helix an hour afterwards. That one hurt significantly more. I would say about a 6 or a 7 out of 10, but I honestly don't think it has anything to do with the actual placement of the second helix. I think my ear was just still experiencing pain from the hour before. After that would be my nose piercings. I got my gold hoop a year or 2 before my silver one, but honestly they both hurt quite a bit. I would give them a 7 or 8 out of 10. Both times I literally looked like Rudolph. My nose was so pink and also bloody. But in all fairness, I did get them pierced with a hoop, which is a little bit more painful. And also, the healing process was really not that bad. Compared to all the other ones, it healed up so fast, did not cause me any pain. So it's okay, it's fine. Now that does leave the most painful piercing to my industrial. That was like a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. Not only does an industrial involve piercing 2 holes through really thick cartilage, but the gauge used is a lot bigger than the standard. So for a reference, lobe piercings are done at an 18 gauge. Helix piercings are done at a 16 gauge, which means just slightly bigger. The industrial piercing I got was a 12 gauge. When it went through my ear, it literally felt like a hole punch, like I felt a pop. It was gross, it bled a lot, but it's one of my favorite piercings, so worth it. Now, what are the pros and cons to having these piercings? Pro: hot and sexy all the time. They're a great accessory to many different hairstyles. So at the time that I was getting my helix and industrial piercings, I was a senior in high school and was bleaching my hair back and forth between stark white and jet black all the time. It just got to a point where it felt awful, and so I wanted to restart and I shaved all my hair off. But I did feel quite insecure. Up until that point, I'd used my hair to kind of hide away my face. My relationship with my body dysmorphia at the time was quite tumultuous. I also had a lot of acne on my face, and having these ear piercings really made me feel elevated, decorated, a little more glamorous, and that's even transferred into adulthood. I don't know if you share the same opinion, but I don't think I look better with my hair back, whether it's a bun or a ponytail. Like, I don't look bad, I just don't find that I'm taking pictures of myself when my hair's back. But the fact that I have these beautiful piercings really give me a confidence boost. Also, as a pro, there's some really cute jewelry for piercings. In particular, I have a lot of fun with my industrial piercings. I'll actually show you some right now. You can find all sorts of cute gems. Even look at this cute little pansexual heart. You know I'm gonna wear this to Pride. But I'll talk a little bit about the cons just because mostly all the pros have to do with being hot and sexy. The main con for me has to do with my health issues. So I don't know if you know this, but when you go to the hospital and you have any sort of procedure or surgery, they want you to take all of your piercings out. I'm always afraid they're gonna fill in because I keep my piercings in 24/7, but I have figured out a slight little way around it, which does involve lying. But hear me out, this is how I do it. I'll go to the hospital with all my piercings still in. They'll say, "Do you have any?" And I'll say, "Yes." They usually give you a little jar to put them in, and so I'll take out just my lobe piercings. I keep my hair down so they can't see any of the upper ear piercings, and I have my mask on so they can't see my nose piercings. Then we do all the hospital-y things. I have a gown on, sometimes I'm hooked up to an IV. I get wheeled away to a far and distant room, and then when I start laying down in a bed, I go, "Oh my gosh, I forgot about my other ear piercings. Can you give me tape?" The nurses will then tape up my ears and sometimes my nose, and we're ready to go. Now, I'm not saying to use this method verbatim because it works for me and it's not going to work for every kind of surgery and every kind of procedure. They generally don't hook me up to a bunch of metal to which I could potentially be electrocuted if I still had my piercings in. The reason they want mine out is solely so they don't get caught on anything. So that's why the tape works for me. I just find that I have to ask for it in a sneaky way. But that would be my number one con. The second one, which is probably the most common complaint you'll hear, is the pain of sleeping. I am a side sleeper and at times quite a heavy sleeper. And so if I fall asleep on one side of my face for hours on end, I will wake up with a throbbing sensation, a slight pain. It does, however, go away decently quickly, and those nights aren't frequent. When I'm sleeping, I generally interchange sleeping on the left side and the right side, sometimes throw in a little back sleep, and when that's the case, there's no pain at all. Other than those two, I would say the last con just has to do with if you have a partner with the same or similar areaed piercing, sometimes your metal can get caught. I've kissed someone with a nostril piercing and a septum piercing before, and we have been interlocked. It's not common, and in fact not likely, but it can happen. I think that's all there is to know about my piercings, but if you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments. Maybe like and subscribe while you're at it. I make videos every 2 weeks, so I will see you at the next one. Bye!